Procrastination is the thief of time. Think about that for a moment. Every time we put off a task, every time we wait for the right moment or a burst of motivation, we lose precious time. Studies show that 80 to 90% of college students admit to procrastinating regularly, and the numbers aren't much different for working professionals. Procrastination is a habit shared by people all over the world, regardless of age, gender, or occupation. At some point, we all feel its pull. But why? Why is it that we know what we need to do? We have goals we're passionate about, and yet we find ourselves delaying the steps to get there. Why do we push tasks until tomorrow, next week, or even next year? Today we're going to tackle that question, but not just to understand it. We're going to find a way out of the trap, a way to stop procrastinating and take control of our lives once and for all. Because procrastination isn't just a bad habit, it's a roadblock, a massive wall standing between us and the life we dream of. Why procrastination is common. Procrastination isn't something to feel guilty about. In fact, it's completely normal, and it's something that affects nearly everyone at some point. But procrastination isn't about being lazy. It's more about psychology than it is about willpower. And that's important to understand. You see, at the root of procrastination, there are deeper issues, things we often don't realize are holding us back. Sometimes it's fear of failure, fear of not meeting expectations, or even fear of success. It can be a fear that the task will overwhelm us or that we aren't ready. And other times it's perfectionism, this belief that we must do something perfectly, or else it's not worth doing at all. So we wait for the perfect time, the perfect resources, or until we feel perfectly ready, only to find that none of those things ever truly arrive. Our brains are hardwired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. And let's face it, many of the things we need to do to reach our goals, whether they're professional, personal, or physical, can feel daunting, difficult, or downright uncomfortable. So naturally, we find ways to avoid them. We check our phones, clean the house, scroll social media, all quick hits of dopamine that let us avoid the discomfort we're feeling. But while those activities feel satisfying in the moment, they lead us further and further away from our true goals and desires. So procrastination is common because it's a natural response, a defense mechanism against discomfort. But the danger lies in letting this pattern go unchecked. When procrastination becomes a habit, it robs us of the life we want to live. The importance of taking control. Imagine a life where procrastination doesn't hold you back, where you wake up each day with a clear sense of purpose, a plan, and the drive to follow through. Imagine feeling confident in your actions, knowing that you're not waiting for the right moment, because you're creating it every single day. That life is possible, and it starts with one decision, the decision to take control. Taking control of your life doesn't mean being perfect. It doesn't mean you'll never face the temptation to put things off again. Taking control means choosing to prioritize your goals over your immediate impulses. It means cultivating self-discipline, building habits that support your growth, and saying no to the distractions that only waste your time. It's not easy if it were everyone would do it. But it is possible, and it's within your reach. By choosing to take control, you're setting yourself up for a fulfilling life, one where you're not constantly haunted by regrets or the weight of unfinished tasks. When you take control, you're stepping into a new version of yourself, a version that's focused, motivated, and unstoppable. This video isn't just about talking at you. It's about equipping you with the tools and knowledge you need to take back control of your life, starting today. Here's what you'll gain from watching this. Strategies to break free from procrastination. Will go through real, actionable steps that have been proven to help people stop putting things off and start achieving their goals. 2 tools. To develop focus, you'll learn how to create a focused mindset, how to block out distractions, and how to set up your day to maximize productivity. Motivation to act. This video is designed not just to inform, but to inspire. By the end, you'll feel empowered, ready, and excited to tackle your tasks and to move closer to your dreams with every step you take. So let's get started. Let's dive deep, understand procrastination, and most importantly, learn how to overcome it. By the end of this journey, you won't just understand why you procrastinate, you'll have a powerful set of tools to help you take control, push past your barriers, and achieve the things you once only dreamed of. Are you ready to take control of your life? Let's do this one step at a time. Number 1, understanding procrastination. Let's start by clarifying what procrastination actually is. We often think of it as simply putting things off, but there's a little more to it than that. Procrastination is a habit of delaying what we know we should do, even when we know the delay will create stress or make things harder in the long run. But here's the thing, procrastination comes in different forms. Not all procrastination looks the same, and understanding these types can help us break free from this habit. The first type is productive procrastination. This is the kind of procrastination that can trick us into feeling like we're getting things done. For example, imagine you have an important work project due, but instead of starting it, you begin cleaning your entire house or organizing your desk. You're still doing something productive. You're not just sitting around, but you're avoiding the one thing that actually needs your attention. Productive procrastination often feels good in the moment because we're still achieving something. It's easy to tell ourselves that we'll get to the important task once everything else is ready, but often that moment never comes. Then there's avoidance procrastination, the type that happens when we avoid a task altogether, usually because it feels overwhelming, scary, or just downright unpleasant. This is when we know we need to do something, but instead we lose ourselves in distractions, binge watching shows, scrolling through social media, or endlessly browsing the internet. This type of procrastination is harder to shake because it's linked to deep-seated emotions, like fear or self-doubt. We avoid what we fear, and we fill our time with things that bring quick, easy pleasure, instead of facing what needs to be done. By understanding the difference between productive and avoidance procrastination, we gain insight into our own habits. When we can recognize the type of procrastination we're engaging in, we can start to challenge it, question it, and ultimately change it. Psychological reasons behind procrastination. Now that we know the types, let's dig deeper into why we procrastinate. Why is it that even when we know a task is important, we can't bring ourselves to start? The reasons often lie within our minds, within the patterns and beliefs we've held, sometimes without even realizing it. One major reason is the fear of failure. Think about it. If you don't start, you can't fail. It's a defense mechanism, one that protects us from disappointment. But this fear can be paralyzing. We worry that if we don't meet our expectations or the expectations others have of us, we'll let everyone down. So instead of risking failure, we stall, waiting for a better time when we'll magically feel ready and confident. But the truth is, if we wait for that moment, we might be waiting forever. Next, there's perfectionism. For many, this is at the heart of procrastination. Perfectionism is that inner voice that tells us, if it's not perfect, don't bother. It convinces us that we have to wait until every detail is just right before we can start. This type of thinking can be incredibly restrictive. Imagine wanting to write a book, but feeling like you need to know every plot twist and character detail before even writing the first sentence. Perfectionism makes starting feel impossible, trapping us in endless preparation. We procrastinate because we convince ourselves that our work has to be flawless, and anything less is unacceptable. But perfection is an illusion. It's something we chase but can never truly catch. And then there's a lack of self-confidence. This is more subtle but equally powerful. When we don't believe in our abilities, procrastination becomes a way of protecting ourselves from the truth we fear. If we're uncertain about whether we can succeed, we may put off the work, hoping that the problem will somehow resolve itself. Maybe we feel like imposters, thinking, who am I to take on this task? Or we doubt our skills, telling ourselves we're not as good as others in our field. Self-doubt breeds hesitation, and hesitation becomes procrastination. These psychological reasons, fear of failure, perfectionism, and low self-confidence feed off each other, creating a cycle that can feel impossible to break. But the first step to breaking it is understanding it. By recognizing the beliefs that hold us back, we can start to question them, to dismantle them, and to take action in spite of them. How procrastination impacts mental health. Now let's talk about the toll procrastination takes on our mental health. We often think of procrastination as a minor annoyance, but its effects run much deeper. When we continually put things off, we start to accumulate feelings of stress, guilt, and even shame. Every time we delay a task, we're adding a layer of pressure that builds over time. Stress is often the first symptom of chronic procrastination. Think about a deadline you know is coming up. Each time you avoid it, you're reminded that you're not making progress. This creates a looming sense of dread that only intensifies as the deadline approaches. The stress of procrastination isn't just about the task itself, it's about the growing worry that we're letting ourselves down. This stress doesn't just disappear, it carries over into other areas of our lives, affecting our relationships, our sleep, and even our physical health. Alongside stress, anxiety often rears its head. The longer we put off a task, the more anxiety we feel about facing it. It becomes a vicious cycle. The more we avoid, the more anxious we become, and the harder it is to actually start. This anxiety doesn't only affect the task we're avoiding, it seeps into everything. We might start to feel anxious about other things too, because the act of avoidance becomes a constant in our minds. And then there's self-doubt. When we procrastinate, we're sending ourselves the message that we're not capable of handling what's in front of us. Over time, this can eat away at our self-esteem. We begin to believe that we're not good enough, that we lack discipline, or that we don't have what it takes to succeed. This can lead to feelings of guilt and shame, which are incredibly harmful to our mental well-being. Each time we procrastinate, we reinforce a narrative of inadequacy, one that becomes harder to break with each passing day. This cycle of procrastination and mental health issues is exhausting. It drains our energy, our focus, and our motivation, making it harder to act and easier to continue avoiding. But it's important to remember that breaking this cycle is possible. Procrastination doesn't have to control us. By recognizing its impact on our mental health, we can take the first steps toward reclaiming our peace of mind. So let's take a moment to reflect on what we've covered. Procrastination is more than just putting things off. It's a complex behavior driven by fear, perfectionism, and doubt, and it can deeply impact our mental health if left unchecked. But remember, understanding is the first step toward change. Now that we've explored why we procrastinate, we're ready to learn how to overcome it. Number 2, the cost of procrastination. One of the most significant costs of procrastination is something we rarely notice until it's gone: time. Time is one of the few resources in life that we can never get back. Every moment we spend delaying important tasks, making excuses, or simply waiting for the right time is a moment that slips away forever. And while procrastination can feel harmless in the moment, its effects accumulate. Imagine looking back on your life, seeing all those lost moments, and realizing that those were opportunities you could have seized to create something meaningful. Let's think about a few examples. Perhaps there was an opportunity to learn a new skill, start a side business, or improve your health, but each time, procrastination got in the way. You might have thought, I'll start next week, or I'll wait until things are less busy. But those weeks turn into months, and then into years. Eventually, those opportunities are gone. The chance to write that book, learn that language, or take that course is past, leaving only a sense of regret. Procrastination robs us of the chance to move closer to our dreams, to experience new things, and to build a life that aligns with our values. Each moment we put off something meaningful, we lose a small piece of the future we're capable of creating. When we let procrastination control our actions, it silently steers us away from the life we want to live. Impact on relationships and career. Another major cost of procrastination is the toll it takes on our relationships and careers. When we put off important tasks, it doesn't just affect us, it affects everyone around us. In relationships, procrastination can look like avoiding hard conversations, not showing up when needed, or failing to keep promises. For example, imagine constantly putting off spending time with friends or family because you're waiting for a better time or promising to help a loved one with something but never following through. Over time, people begin to feel neglected or unimportant. They may feel that you're not reliable, that you don't care, or that you're not invested in the relationship. Procrastination, when left unchecked, erodes trust and connection. This impact carries over into the workplace too. At work, procrastination can make us appear less dependable or less committed. Imagine promising your boss that you'll complete a project by a certain date, only to delay it repeatedly. Or maybe you avoid taking on responsibilities because they seem overwhelming, and as a result, you miss out on career growth and promotion opportunities. When we procrastinate at work, we're not just holding ourselves back, we're also impacting the success of our team and the trust that our colleagues and managers have in us. One powerful example is the effect of procrastination in collaborative work. When you're part of a team, putting things off can delay the entire project and create tension among team members. They may need your input or contribution to move forward, and by delaying, you're not just holding yourself back, you're affecting everyone else's ability to progress. In the long run, this can strain professional relationships, creating a reputation for being unreliable or unmotivated, two labels that can have lasting consequences on your career. Financial consequences. And then there's the financial side, the cost of procrastination on our wallets and financial well-being. Procrastination can have a surprising effect on our finances. leading to missed investment opportunities, unnecessary spending, and even debt. Take, for instance, the idea of saving or investing. Many people know that saving money early allows their investments to grow over time. Yet they put off opening a savings account or setting aside money because it feels like a task they can handle next month. But each month that passes without action means lost potential for growth. The earlier we start saving, the more time our investments have to grow, so every day spent procrastinating has a direct impact on our future wealth. Another example is when it comes to paying bills or managing debt. Procrastinating on bills or debt payments often results in late fees, higher interest rates, or penalties. While paying a bill a few days late might not seem like a big deal, these costs add up over time. For some, procrastination can turn manageable debt into a burden that feels overwhelming, all because putting things off makes the problem grow larger than it initially was. Even when it comes to budgeting or tracking expenses, procrastination can make a huge difference. Not setting up a budget because it seems time-consuming or challenging can lead to overspending, impulse purchases, and eventually financial stress. Without a budget, it's easy to lose track of where your money goes, which often leads to unnecessary expenses that chip away at your financial goals. The act of delaying these small financial tasks can have a ripple effect that impacts your future security and ability to reach financial milestones. When we look at these costs, it becomes clear that procrastination is more than just a harmless habit. It has real, lasting consequences that affect every area of our lives. Procrastination steals time, weakens relationships, holds us back in our careers, and erodes our financial health. But the good news is, once we understand these costs, we have the motivation to take action and make meaningful changes. By taking control of our time and habits, we're not only avoiding these costs, we're creating a future where we're in charge of our lives. So as we move forward, let's explore ways to break free from procrastination, take control, and start building the lives we truly want. Number 3, mindset shifts to overcome procrastination. The first powerful shift is to embrace a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. Instead of seeing our skills and talents as fixed, we understand that with practice and dedication, we can improve at anything we set our minds to. This shift reduces the fear of starting tasks because we're no longer bound by perfection or worried about whether we're good enough. Instead, we approach tasks with curiosity, focusing on what we can learn and how we can grow. Often, procrastination stems from a fear of failure. You might think, what if I don't do this perfectly? Or what if I'm not as good as others? But a growth mindset reframes these thoughts. Instead of thinking you need to be perfect from the beginning, this mindset encourages you to view every task as a chance to learn. You're not aiming to be flawless, you're aiming to improve. Each time you tackle something, you gain new skills, new insights, and a new level of resilience. Consider a real-life example. Let's say you want to start a blog but feel unqualified, worried that your writing might not be great. A growth mindset allows you to start small, recognizing that your first few posts might not be perfect, but each one will bring you closer to the level you desire. With this approach, you're less likely to put off writing, because your focus isn't on immediate perfection, but on the journey of improving over time. Reframe the way you see goals. Another key to overcoming procrastination is to reframe how you see your goals. Many of us look at our goals as one massive, intimidating mountain to climb. We think about reaching the summit, and it feels so overwhelming that we decide to avoid it altogether. But the secret to conquering big goals is to break them down into small, manageable steps. Think of any large goal you have, whether it's finishing a major project at work, getting fit, or saving money. Each of these goals is a collection of smaller, achievable actions. Take, for example, the goal of writing a book. Instead of viewing the goal as write a book, break it down into smaller actions like outline the first chapter, write 500 words a day, or research relevant topics. These smaller steps feel more achievable and help you build momentum without feeling overwhelmed. The same goes for fitness goals. Instead of setting an intimidating goal, like get in shape, break it down into smaller actions like go for a 20-minute walk each day or do 10 push-ups in the morning. By focusing on these smaller, achievable tasks, you're giving yourself the chance to succeed regularly, which fuels motivation and makes the journey enjoyable. This approach also makes it easier to track your progress. Every small step you complete brings you closer to the larger goal, giving you a sense of accomplishment along the way. As you start seeing results from these small actions, it builds your confidence and encourages you to keep moving forward. Instead of procrastinating, you're consistently taking steps towards success. Visualize success and consequences. One of the most powerful tools to overcome procrastination is visualization. Visualization allows you to mentally experience both the positive outcomes of taking action and the negative effects of inaction. It helps create a clear picture of the life you want to build and the consequences of putting things off. Start by imagining the success you could achieve if you followed through with your goals. Picture yourself a few months, or even years down the line, having taken consistent action toward your dreams. See yourself feeling proud, accomplished, and in control of your life. Visualize yourself enjoying the benefits of your hard work, whether that's a healthier body, a successful business, or a stronger relationship. This positive visualization can be incredibly motivating because it gives you a taste of what's possible if you take action. Now, consider the opposite scenario. Imagine what would happen if you continued to procrastinate. Picture yourself a year from now, realizing that you've made no progress because you kept putting things off. Imagine the feelings of regret, frustration, and disappointment. Think about the opportunities you might miss, the goals left unachieved, and the sense of potential that remains unfulfilled. This exercise isn't meant to be harsh. It's designed to give you a realistic sense of the consequences of continued procrastination. For example, let's say you've been meaning to save for a big financial goal, like buying a house. Visualize what it would feel like to finally reach that goal, to have the stability and freedom that comes with financial security. Then, visualize the frustration you might feel if, years later, you're still in the same place because you kept delaying. This contrast can create a strong motivation to act because you see both the reward of action and the cost of inaction. By regularly visualizing both the outcomes of success and the consequences of procrastination, you build a mental push that encourages you to act. You're no longer just imagining what could be, you're setting a clear intention for the future you want to create and a reminder of what you stand to lose if you don't act. Adopting a growth mindset, breaking down your goals into manageable steps, and visualizing both the rewards of success and the consequences of inaction are all powerful strategies to overcome procrastination. These mindset shifts turn procrastination from a habit into a choice, empowering you to take control of your life and move toward your dreams. By embracing these changes, you're setting yourself up for a life of action, fulfillment, and achievement. You're giving yourself permission to make mistakes, to learn, and to grow along the way. You're turning your goals into steps that you can tackle daily, each one bringing you closer to the life you desire. So the next time you feel that familiar urge to procrastinate, remember these mindset shifts. Remind yourself that every small step forward is a victory, and that your journey towards success is built on these moments of choice. Take a deep breath, embrace growth, and keep moving forward. Number 4, actionable strategies to beat procrastination. 1. Setting clear, measurable goals. The first powerful action step is to set clear, measurable goals. Many of us procrastinate because our goals are vague or too overwhelming. We think I want to be successful or I need to be more productive, but these goals lack structure. That's where the SMART goals framework comes into play. SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Let's break it down with an example. Suppose your goal is to improve your fitness. A vague goal would be, I want to work out more, but a SMART goal would be, I want to go to the gym 3 times a week for 30 minutes each session to improve my strength and stamina. This is specific gym workouts, measurable 3 times a week, achievable given your current fitness level, relevant it aligns with your fitness goals, and time-bound weekly check-ins. Setting SMART goals clarifies what success looks like and gives you concrete actions to take. It's much harder to procrastinate when you know exactly what you need to do, how often, and for how long. SMART goals also help you measure your progress over time, which builds motivation and momentum. So whenever you're setting a new goal, make sure it's SMART. It's the first step to breaking free from procrastination. 2. Prioritize tasks using the 80/20 rule. One of the most effective productivity tools you can use is the Pareto principle, also known as the 80/20 rule. This principle suggests that 80% of our results come from 20% of our efforts. In other words, a small number of high-impact tasks often produce the majority of our outcomes. To apply this rule, Make a list of your tasks and ask yourself which of these tasks will have the biggest positive impact on my goals. Focus on those high-impact tasks first. If you're working on a project at work, identify the key tasks that will move the project forward significantly and prioritize those. If you're trying to develop a new skill, identify the core practices that will have the biggest impact on your learning. This approach helps you eliminate the busy work that doesn't add much value. Instead of spreading your energy thin across countless low-impact tasks, you focus on the 20% of tasks that drive 80% of your results. By prioritizing high-impact activities, you'll see faster progress, which reduces procrastination and keeps you motivated to continue. 3. Daily routines and time management. Another effective strategy for beating procrastination is establishing a daily routine and managing your time. When you create a structured routine, you're building habits that make it easier to stay on track. Start by dedicating blocks of time to important tasks and give yourself a clear focus each day. For instance, many successful people structure their day into blocks. They might dedicate the first few hours to high-focus tasks, take a short break, and then spend the next block on administrative work. By structuring your day, you're creating a framework that makes it easier to focus on each task without getting distracted or overwhelmed. Try starting with a simple morning routine, as mornings are often when we have the most energy and willpower. This could include a few minutes of stretching or exercise, a healthy breakfast, and a quick review of your day's goals. Not only does a morning routine help you get into the right mindset, but it also sets a productive tone for the rest of the day. Additionally, tools like time blocking or task batching can help you dedicate specific hours to certain tasks and make it easier to stay focused. Time management isn't just about squeezing more work into your day, it's about making sure each hour is used efficiently and that you're setting yourself up for success. 4. The 5-minute rule. The 5-minute rule is a powerful trick to reduce initial resistance to tasks. Often the hardest part of any task is getting started, so the 5-minute rule encourages you to commit to just 5 minutes of work. Tell yourself, I'll work on this for 5 minutes, and if I still don't want to continue, I'll stop. More often than not, once you get past that first few minutes, you'll find it easier to keep going. It's like going for a run. The hardest part is lacing up your shoes and heading out the door, but once you're moving, it becomes easier. The 5-minute rule works because it tricks your brain into thinking the task isn't as daunting as it seems, and once you start, momentum often carries you forward. You can use this rule for anything: writing an email, starting a workout, or studying for an exam. Just commit to 5 minutes, and if you feel the need to continue, great. If not, you've at least made a start, and that's often enough to reduce the mental block around the task. 5. Using technology wisely. In today's world, one of the biggest obstacles to productivity is digital distraction. Social media, endless notifications, and the internet make it easy to get sidetracked. But technology can also be an asset if you use it wisely. First, consider using productivity apps to help organize your tasks and set reminders. Apps like Trello, Notion, or Todoist allow you to create digital to-do lists, track progress, and prioritize tasks. You can also use focus apps like Forest or Focus at Will, which are designed to help you stay on track by minimizing distractions. Another powerful approach is setting boundaries with your devices. Turn off non-essential notifications, put your phone on Do Not Disturb mode, or set specific times to check social media. Many phones even offer screen time tracking features that allow you to set daily limits for certain apps. Remember, technology is a tool, and like any tool, it can either help or hinder you. By taking control of how you use your devices, you're creating an environment that supports focus rather than detracts from it. 6. Accountability partners and social support. Finally, let's talk about the importance of accountability and social support. Having someone to check in with can make a significant difference in staying motivated and on track. An accountability partner can be a friend, family member, or even a colleague who knows about your goals and encourages you to follow through. When you know someone is keeping an eye on your progress, it creates an extra layer of commitment. You're not only responsible to yourself, but also to someone who is cheering you on. This sense of accountability can give you that extra push when you feel tempted to procrastinate. In addition to accountability, consider joining groups or communities with similar goals. Whether it's a study group, a workout class, or an online forum, being surrounded by others who are motivated can increase your own commitment. Together you can share challenges, celebrate wins, and encourage each other to stay consistent. Actionable strategies to start today. These actionable strategies, from setting smart goals and prioritizing tasks to managing time effectively, committing to just 5 minutes, using technology wisely, and finding accountability, all contribute to a solid framework for overcoming procrastination. When you apply these strategies, you're equipping yourself with tools to take control of your life step by step. So don't wait for the perfect moment to start. Instead, use these tips and begin today, knowing that each small step forward is building the life you truly want. By committing to action, by following through, you're setting yourself up for success, one productive habit at a time. Number 5, overcoming common procrastination pitfalls. This segment addresses some of the most common barriers that keep people stuck in a cycle of procrastination. Each of these pitfalls, self-doubt, perfectionism, and staying within comfort zones, can feel like powerful forces holding us back. Yet by developing the right mindset and tools, we can move past them, take action, and unlock our potential. Let's break down how to conquer each of these obstacles. Dealing with self-doubt. Self-doubt is one of the most pervasive barriers to productivity. We've all had moments where we look at a goal or a task and think, what if I'm not good enough? What if I fail? This fear can be paralyzing, leading us to delay or avoid action altogether. But here's a key truth: self-doubt is a natural response to growth. When you're reaching for something meaningful, it's common to feel a mix of excitement and insecurity. Recognize this feeling not as a red flag, but as a sign that you're pushing yourself beyond what's familiar. To tackle self-doubt, shift your perspective on failure. Instead of seeing failure as a dead end, view it as a learning opportunity. Every step, whether it brings success or challenges, offers valuable insights that can guide your next move. The most successful people aren't those who avoid failure, but those who learn from it and keep going. Practice self-compassion. Speak to yourself as you would to a close friend. Instead of dwelling on what you can't do or haven't done, focus on your strengths and potential. Positive self-talk can make a huge difference in building confidence and quieting self-doubt. Take small, consistent steps. Start with manageable actions that build momentum and reinforce your capabilities. Completing small steps can help you build self-trust, proving to yourself that you're capable of making progress. Every time you move forward despite self-doubt, you're building resilience and courage. Over time, you'll find that you're able to accomplish more than you ever thought possible. Remember, confidence isn't a requirement to start, it's something you build as you go. Avoiding perfectionism. Perfectionism is another sneaky form of procrastination. On the surface, it can look like high standards or a strong work ethic, but in reality, it can lead to endless delays. When you're constantly chasing perfect, you're setting a standard that's impossible to reach, and often, that leads to avoiding or abandoning tasks altogether. Here's the key to overcoming perfectionism: strive for progress, not perfection. Think about it this way: done is better than perfect, because done moves you forward. Waiting for perfection only holds you back. Here are a few tips to break free from the perfectionism trap. Set realistic standards. There's a difference between high quality and unattainable perfection. Identify what good enough looks like for a task, especially if it's something that doesn't require perfection. For instance, if you're working on a report, aim for clarity and accuracy rather than obsessing over every word. Limit time spent on tasks. Set a specific time limit for a project and stick to it. When the time is up, it's time to move on. This technique, often called time boxing, prevents you from getting stuck in endless revisions. Embrace the concept of iterate and improve. Perfection isn't achieved in a single attempt. It's often the result of refining work over time. If you're launching a new project, think of it as version 1. By allowing yourself to make gradual improvements, you can launch sooner and make meaningful adjustments based on feedback. Perfectionism often stems from a fear of judgment or criticism, but the truth is, you'll accomplish much more by moving forward, embracing feedback, and learning as you go. Remember, the goal is not to be flawless, but to make consistent progress and add value. Striving for good enough is often more than sufficient to achieve meaningful results. Breaking out of comfort zones. Your comfort zone is a safe place. It's where you feel secure and in control, but it's also where growth is limited. Procrastination often creeps in when tasks or goals push us beyond our comfort zone into uncharted territory. That initial discomfort can make us hesitate or avoid action altogether. But if you want to achieve extraordinary things, staying within your comfort zone simply isn't an option. Here's why everything you want: the growth, the opportunities, the experiences exist just outside your comfort zone. Moving beyond your comfort zone isn't easy, but it's where real transformation happens. Let's explore some ways to break free from this invisible boundary. Take small, calculated risks. You don't have to dive headfirst into the unknown. Start with small, manageable steps that gradually stretch your comfort zone. If public speaking terrifies you, start by speaking up in small group meetings before tackling a larger audience. Each small win builds confidence and reduces the fear of the unknown. Focus on the benefits of action, not the discomfort. When you're stepping out of your comfort zone, remind yourself of what you'll gain by taking action. For example, if you're nervous about applying for a new job, focus on the potential for growth, new experiences, and skills you'll develop, rather than on the fear of rejection. Reframe discomfort as growth. Discomfort is a natural part of change. Rather than seeing it as something to avoid, view it as a sign of progress. When you're feeling that sense of unease, acknowledge it as evidence that you're challenging yourself in meaningful ways. Breaking out of your comfort zone is a skill, and like any skill, it strengthens with practice. Over time, you'll become more adaptable, open to new experiences, and better equipped to handle challenges. Every time you take a step into the unknown, you're reinforcing a mindset of resilience, flexibility, and courage. Remember, true growth happens when you're willing to be uncomfortable, to stretch, and to take risks. The more you do it, the less intimidating it becomes, and the more you'll find yourself embracing new challenges with confidence. Conquer procrastination by tackling pitfalls head-on. In overcoming procrastination, it's essential to recognize and tackle the common pitfalls: self-doubt, perfectionism, and the comfort zone trap. Each of these can keep you in a cycle of delay, but they don't have to. When you approach self-doubt as a sign of growth, adopt a mindset of progress over perfection and embrace stepping outside your comfort zone. You're actively reducing the power of procrastination. With these shifts, you'll not only accomplish more, but you'll also build resilience, confidence, and the courage to pursue goals that once felt out of reach. Taking control of these challenges won't just help you overcome procrastination, it will allow you to unlock your fullest potential. So keep pushing forward, even if the path feels uncertain. Each step is bringing you closer to the life you want to create. Number 6, maintaining long-term motivation, the key to sustainable progress. Staying motivated over the long term can be one of the greatest challenges on the journey to overcome procrastination. Often people start strong, driven by a burst of enthusiasm or a new goal, but motivation can fade over time. That's why learning to maintain your motivation is essential to creating lasting habits and achieving meaningful change. This segment focuses on 3 core principles: celebrating small wins, reflecting on achievements, and committing to continuous self-improvement. Each principle is a tool you can use to sustain your drive, keep moving forward, and avoid falling back into old habits. Let's dive into how each of these can help you stay motivated for the long haul. Celebrate small wins. One of the most powerful yet underrated ways to maintain motivation is to celebrate your small wins. When we think about goals, it's easy to focus on the big final outcome, whether that's completing a major project, reaching a career milestone, or achieving a personal transformation. But progress is rarely made in one big leap. It's a series of smaller, often daily steps that lead us there. Celebrating these small wins is crucial because it reinforces positive behavior. When you acknowledge your small achievements, you're rewarding your brain, creating a positive association with progress, no matter how small. This reinforcement helps build lasting habits by making it enjoyable to keep moving forward. Boost your confidence and motivation. Each small win acts as a reminder that you're capable of reaching your goals. Completing even a small task can give you a sense of accomplishment, and this feeling of progress keeps your motivation alive. Keeps momentum going. Think of small wins as building blocks. Every time you recognize an accomplishment, you're building a foundation of confidence that motivates you to take the next step. Over time, these small wins create a chain of success that builds resilience and keeps you moving forward. How to celebrate small wins. Create a checklist of small tasks that contribute to your larger goal and check them off as you go. This simple act of ticking items off a list can be deeply satisfying. Treat yourself with small rewards for completing key milestones. It could be something as simple as taking a short break, enjoying a favorite snack, or watching a few minutes of a show. Acknowledge your progress with gratitude. At the end of each day or week, take a moment to reflect on the small wins you've accomplished. This habit of gratitude for your progress helps you focus on what's working, reinforcing your motivation. By celebrating small wins, you're not just waiting for the final goal to feel successful, you're making the journey enjoyable and building motivation along the way. Reflecting on achievements. As you move forward, it's also important to take time to look back and recognize how far you've come. This reflection on past achievements serves as a powerful motivator because it reminds you of what you're capable of. When you're working toward a goal, especially a long-term one, it can be easy to lose sight of your progress and feel as though you're not moving fast enough. Reflecting on achievements helps keep things in perspective and reinforces positive habits. Here's how reflecting on achievements can boost your long-term motivation. It provides proof of growth. When you look back at what you've achieved, you're reminded of all the small victories that contributed to your progress. This provides a sense of continuity, showing you that consistent effort really does lead to growth. Builds resilience. Recognizing past achievements can strengthen your resilience. When challenges arise, you can draw strength from knowing you've overcome obstacles before. This helps you stay motivated during difficult times. It creates a positive feedback loop. When you see the progress you've made, it reinforces the desire to keep going. This positive feedback loop makes it easier to stay motivated, even when immediate results aren't visible. Ways to reflect on your achievements. Keep a progress journal where you write down achievements, no matter how small. This record gives you something tangible to look back on, providing a boost of confidence whenever you need it. Use reflection time as part of your weekly routine. Dedicate time each week to look back at what you've accomplished and acknowledge your efforts. Reflect on the lessons you've learned and celebrate the growth you've experienced. Visualize your progress. Some people find it helpful to create a visual representation of their progress, like a timeline or a graph showing how far they've come. This visual can be a powerful motivator to keep going. Reflecting on achievements isn't about dwelling on the past. It's about using your past successes to fuel your future actions. It reminds you of the strength, resilience, and determination that have brought you to where you are today and motivates you to keep pushing forward. And continuing self-improvement. Finally, maintaining long-term motivation means committing to a mindset of continuous self-improvement. Procrastination isn't something you overcome once. It's an ongoing journey. The process of personal growth is endless, and that's what makes it exciting. When you see each day as an opportunity to learn, grow, and refine your approach, you stay motivated to keep pushing forward. Here's why a commitment to self-improvement is essential for staying motivated. It fosters curiosity and learning. When you're committed to self-improvement, you're always seeking ways to do things better, learn new skills, and expand your capabilities. This curiosity keeps you engaged and motivated to keep exploring new possibilities. It builds resilience against setbacks. A mindset of self-improvement helps you see setbacks as opportunities to learn. Instead of letting a challenge demotivate you, you're more likely to reflect, adapt, and try again. Keeps your goals evolving. As you grow, your goals evolve too. This keeps your journey interesting and dynamic, fueling your motivation to continue making progress. Embracing change and growth as natural parts of the process keeps your goals fresh and aligned with your evolving vision. How to practice continuous self-improvement. Read and learn regularly. Commit to learning something new each day or each week, whether through books, podcasts, courses, or other resources. This keeps you engaged and continuously adding to your skills and knowledge. Set evolving goals. Regularly evaluate and adjust your goals as you grow. Think of each goal as a stepping stone, and as you accomplish each one, set your sights on the next challenge that aligns with your aspirations. Celebrate the journey, not just the destination. Appreciate each phase of your progress. When you're dedicated to growth, you'll find motivation not just in reaching the end, but in the process of becoming your best self. Personal growth is a journey that lasts a lifetime, and that's what makes it fulfilling. When you view self-improvement as a continuous process, you stay motivated to push through challenges, build on your achievements, and constantly aim for new heights. Building lasting motivation through daily habits and reflection. In the journey to overcome procrastination, motivation isn't just something you find once and keep forever. It's something you nurture every day by celebrating your progress, reflecting on your achievements, and committing to ongoing self-improvement. By celebrating small wins, you're making every step meaningful, reinforcing the positive behaviors that keep you moving forward. Reflecting on your achievements reminds you of how far you've come, strengthening your resilience and motivating you to keep going. And embracing self-improvement as a lifelong journey ensures that you'll always have new goals to reach and new skills to develop. When you integrate these habits into your life, you're not just working toward one goal, you're creating a mindset of growth and resilience that will serve you throughout every challenge and every challenge. Remember, the journey to success is about making progress each day, no matter how small. Stay motivated, stay focused, and keep moving forward. You have everything it takes to create the life you want, one step, one win, one moment of growth at a time. Take the first step to transform your life. We've covered a lot in today's video, exploring both the causes and costs of procrastination, and we've delved into powerful strategies to overcome it. Now, let's bring it all together. First, let's quickly summarize the essential strategies and mindset shifts we've discussed. Understanding procrastination, recognizing the psychological reasons behind why we procrastinate, from fear of failure to perfectionism, is crucial. Once we know why we avoid tasks, we can start addressing these root causes. The cost of procrastination: every time we delay a task, we're not only losing time but also missing out on valuable opportunities. Procrastination can impact relationships, careers, and even finances. Mindset shifts to overcome procrastination: adopting a growth mindset, breaking down goals, and visualizing success help reframe how we approach tasks, transforming them from intimidating obstacles into achievable steps. Actionable strategies, from setting SMART goals and using the 80/20 rule to daily routines and accountability partners, you now have concrete techniques to start taking control. Overcoming common pitfalls, dealing with self-doubt, embracing imperfection, and stepping out of your comfort zone are all part of the process. Remember, perfection is not the goal, progress is. Maintaining long-term motivation, celebrating small wins, reflecting on achievements, and committing to self-improvement are essential to staying motivated in the long run. Building momentum through daily habits and reflection ensures that you continue to grow and achieve. Each of these points is a tool you can use on your journey to overcome procrastination. Together, they form a powerful foundation for taking control of your life. Now that you're equipped with these strategies, it's time to put them into action. Think about a small task you've been putting off, something you've been telling yourself you'll get to later. It could be as simple as organizing your workspace, making that phone call, or writing the first paragraph of a project. Whatever it is, make the decision to start it today. Right after this video, set a timer for just 5 minutes and dive into that task. You don't have to finish it all in one go, just start. This single step forward, no matter how small, is a powerful action that sets everything else in motion. When you take control, even in the smallest ways, you'll feel the shift in energy. You'll notice the momentum building. Taking that one step today can help you start a chain of positive changes, propelling you closer to your goals with each small action. Remember, the power to take control of your life is entirely within your reach. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be consistent. Every time you make progress, no matter how small, you're building resilience and developing a mindset that will serve you for life. You're showing yourself that you're capable, that you can overcome the obstacles in your path, and that you can create meaningful change. Every single one of us has experienced procrastination in some way, and we all have the ability to overcome it. Embrace the journey and know that every step you take brings you closer to the life you want to create. You are strong, capable, and worthy of the success you're working toward. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found these strategies helpful and inspiring, please consider subscribing to the channel. By subscribing, you'll get more content like this to help you stay motivated and focused on your personal growth journey. And don't forget to share this video with someone who might benefit from it, whether it's a friend, a family member, or anyone who's facing the struggle of procrastination. We all have moments of hesitation, but together we can inspire each other to take action. Finally, I'd love to hear from you. Comment below and let me know one small task you've been putting off and plan to start today. Let's support each other, share our wins, and celebrate each step forward. Thank you for watching, and remember, the journey to a more disciplined, fulfilling life starts with just one step. Make it today.